up, everybody? Thanks for coming by, checking out another video on my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my first acting class that I took in New York City, and also the second class that I'm going to begin tomorrow. So it took a 10-week acting class in New York City at the Barrow Group, right off of Times Square, 36th Street. And so I learned a lot of things on how to be more natural on stage specifically, but it really has helped me with voice acting, and I recommend anybody who's trying to be a voice actor, you should really think about taking an acting class. So some of the reasons I thought about, or I decided to take an acting class, traditional stage acting class, instead of taking a voiceover class or getting voiceover one-on-one coaching, was because I think acting has the unique advantage of you have to perform in front of people, and you have to learn to be natural and sound like you're having a real conversation with other people in person and in front of people, so you have a live audience. And that's really important with voiceover, because the main thing, or the main direction that I get with voiceover auditions and with voiceover jobs that I get, is they want me to be natural and conversational. So it's really been great to have an acting class where I'm learning to be natural and conversational. So my first acting class, I think the few most important things that I learned, the first one was how to sound conversational, or how to get into the role to be conversational and to really sound like you're that person that you're portraying. And that was basically, I forget the exact word, the exact term, but it's the conversation tool. So basically you start talking with someone. In stage acting you have another actor to talk to, but this applies to voice acting as well. You start talking to someone about any topic, just to kind of get your voice at a regular tone, because I'm talking to you now in a more or less natural conversational tone. I'm talking to a camera, so it's not a real conversation. But if I were acting, one of my first things that I might do, which is a mistake, is to say, "Hello, how are you?" So it's kind of, you change the way you sound and the way you're talking to someone. But when you have a conversation method or a conversation model, you're talking to another person, it helps you get back to the normal tone. We talk low, it's not too loud, we're not trying to show our or let the whole audience hear our voice. So it gives you a different tone. So what my teacher would do is have us talk to our scene partner about anything. And then he would say, "Okay, now slip into the script." And what that would do is would help us understand how to stay at an even volume, a normal volume, and how to sound like we're having a real conversation, even though we're performing a script that we've memorized. Another thing that was really helpful, these are the two most important things I learned from acting one. And so this one is, if say you're doing, one of the students in my class was practicing an audition. I won't say her name, but she was practicing for an audition she was going to do the next day in front of the class, and it was a scene that had to do with domestic abuse. Her character was cheating on her husband, and the husband was abusing or had abused her, and so it was a complicated thing to do. It was hard for her to get in the mindset of that character, because luckily she didn't have a life like the character did. But what my teacher did was tell her, "Hey, think about a time in your life where you had a relationship with someone, not necessarily a boyfriend or husband, but a relationship where something went wrong and you were hurt by that, and tell us about it." So she started to talk about some experience she had with a man in her life. I don't know if it was a boyfriend or a friend or something, but she started talking about it. And then he said, "Okay, now go into the script." So what happened was, she was talking about something that got her really emotional, about something that really happened in her life. And when she started talking about the script, she went into it, and she started tearing up, and it just seemed so real. It seemed like she was telling us a story about her life, even though it was a script. And so that was really helpful. So now if I have as it relates to voice acting, the first model that I talked about, conversation model, I can just start talking to someone, or pretend I'm talking to someone in my studio about a topic, and then slip into the script. or if it's a topic where I'm kind of struggling with getting myself into the role, I can talk about something that's actually happened from my life rather than trying to pretend to be something that I really can't relate to. So it's helpful to try to see yourself in a character rather than trying to become a character that you're not. So those are really helpful. And tomorrow I'm going to start Beginner's Acting 2 at the Barrow Group, and so I think we're going to really be going over scenes and using these tools to really enhance the way that we act and portray characters, and it's been really helpful. So if you're a voice actor trying to become more conversational and get better at your reads and auditions, I really recommend taking an acting class. It doesn't have to be at the same place I'm taking it, but just take an acting class, get used to talking in front of people, which is helpful in every aspect of your life, but it will really help with voice acting because the mic won't be intimidating if you're used to acting in front of a whole class. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'll let you know how my second acting class goes once I get into it. It's an 8-week class. Each class is 3 hours long. So we'll really be getting to analyze scripts, and I'll be performing scripts with a partner and doing monologues. So I'll tell you how that goes. It's so far, the first class has been really helpful, so I'm sure the second class I'll learn just as much. And I'll probably continue to take acting classes for a long time because I think it's really helpful with voice acting. So that's it for today. If you like the video, please like below or comment on the video if you have experience with acting classes. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.